Good morning, Doug. This is Ralph. I'm making this video uh, because you wanted to know how to transfer data to WikiTree. And I assume that you're still having trouble uh, getting the Sourcer extension. The Sourcer extension is the easiest way to transfer the data, as you probably have seen in my videos. Now, when I started, I didn't have the Sourcer for this, so I'm going to try to remember and talk you through the way I started and the long way of transferring the data. I'm sure you know how to navigate to Cyrus Morehouse, born in 1808, because you gave me his wife, Cornelia Canfield Morehouse. And when I sent you the tree, it was missing Cornelia. So what we're going to do, first of all, and you know how to do this because we've been through it, you know how to make a profile, but I'm going to go step by step through it and make one. Now, as you go deeper back in time, it's important not to have duplicates. And we just want to make sure that no one else has made a profile for Cornelia. So we're going to go up where it says first name. Last name is already there, Morehouse, and we're going to put Cornelia. And we're going to click the search button. And there's 17 Cornelias already, and what I'm going to do to make it easy for me is search by birth date. So I'm going to rearrange the list by birth date. Now, it doesn't appear that she's in here. As the spouse of Cyrus, because she was born in 1811 and 1825 is our first incidence of her name. And it's kind of interesting that there's two other Cornelia Morehouses, one born in 1825 and one born in 1839. So now that we know that she isn't in here, we can make a new profile. So we'll arrow back and keep arrowing back until we get to Cyrus. And we're going to click on spouse because we know that she's the mother of Henry L. Morehouse and she's the husband of Cyrus. So we're going to click on spouse. And we're going to create a new profile because if we found one in that list, we would copy down her name and her number and say connect to, and that would be easy. It would already be a quick addition to your tree. So we're going to create, we're going to click on continue, and her first name at birth is Cornelia. And looking at your email, I see that her last name is Canfield. Now I realize I did the search wrong. I should have searched for Cornelia Canfield. But we'll continue and we'll see what happens here. Her birth date, I think, if I remember right, somewhere I saw that you had 1811. So I'm going to put that, and I'm going to put it estimated for now. And I'm going to go down where it says references, and I'm going to put down from the family collection in my possession. And we're going to check the box that we know that she's a mother of Henry, so we'll check that. The marriage date, for now, we can change it later. I'm just going to put a guess that most women were probably 18 to 20 years old, so if she was born in 1811, she was probably married in, we're going to say 1830, just as a guess, and put down uncertain. It's probably Connecticut, but I'm going to leave it blank for now. And click continue. I did this wrong. I should have put Canfield for her last name at birth and Morehouse for her married name. And the nice part about WikiTree is if you make a mistake, it flashes in pink and tells you what you got to do. So we're going to scroll down, and we're seeing there's no matches. So they didn't come up with a Cornelia Canfield anywhere that's with those dates or close to it. So we're going to say proceed. And we now have a profile for Cornelia. I'm going to go down to biography, and with the other WikiTree extension, I can do auto bio. Otherwise, you're going to have to type it in longhand. So I'm just going to click on auto bio. And the nice part about getting these extensions is you don't have to do any typing. Or very little typing anyway. So it gives you what it changed it to, and it also shows what you had. And if you don't like what it changed it to, you can just say undo and it goes back. So we're going to delete the old bio. And here it shows automatically that her son was Henry L. Morehouse, that she was married to Cyrus, and she was born about 1811. I'm still leaving this part under references because I don't have a source yet, and you refer to sources as data, or the data requiring a source. Alright, so we're going to go down here and we're just going to say we improved the bio and save it. Alright, so now we got Cornelia up here, and at this point I'm going to try to attempt to get a source for her. Now, to get a source, I can go up and click on the one on my computer because I got the WikiTree Sourcer extension, and boom, I can look right away for sources. The old way that I learned in the very beginning, and what you can do without having an extension, and you should be able to do this on the Mac, is click down here where it says Research, Rootsearch for Cornelia Canfield Morehouse. So you click on that. Now, when I did this the first time in preparation for the video, it asked me for my password, so you're going to have to jump through passwords and follow the extension, the instructions, so you can get to the Rootsearch page. This Rootsearch fills in what you've already filled in on your profile. Now, you would come up in your email to me that you found something in Family Search. And Family Search and Find a Grave are the only two places I should recommend that you look. And I always look first in Find a Grave, but I'm going to go to Family Search because I think you found her in a census. So let's see if we can find her in a census by clicking Family Search. And again, when I did this earlier, it asked me for my password again for Family Search. So always have your WikiTree passwords handy when you're doing this. Well, we found her marriage. And let's see, found two things for her marriage. And I'm looking at your email that you sent, and it's basically just about what was in your email as far as the picture. Yeah, there's her birth of 1811, so we were right on that. The census in 1860. Let's take the census because it might be a little easier. So we'll click on to view the record for the census. I had to click it twice. All right, and this is the census. Now, I'm so spoiled by the sorcerer, I've almost forgotten this long way to do things, but we need a citation. So let's click on copy the citation. And it's copied to the clipboard. Let's go back to Cornelia and edit. And the census is probably going to go after her marriage. It should show her husband, Cyrus. So let's see. We're going to paste it in here, the citation. I got to back that up, so I'm going to take this out. I'm going to click on the C, which gives me the opening reference and closing reference, and I'm going to right click and paste the citation. So now I'm just going to type longhand and say Cornelia was in the 1860 census. So now I'm going to get rid of this because I have some proof about her. So I'm going to delete that. And I can click on preview to see what it's going to look like. And it's going to show what you typed. Cornelia was in the 1860 census, and it's going to put the citation down under sources. So now we have a source. So we're going to say we added 1860 census and do a full save. And this is her profile with a source. So now let's click on the address and see what happens. And there you have a link to the source and the census. So it shows that she was 49 years old in Ohio. Now this doesn't seem right because it doesn't I'm kind of confused why it doesn't show Cyrus. So we may have made a mistake here. I may have made a mistake. So let's go back to Cornelia Canfield. And it should have been a wake-up call for me that it said Medina, Ohio. So let's go down and see if we can find her, Cornelia Canfield, somewhere else. See, by that time she would have been Cornelia Morehouse. So I guess this is a good exercise for you, knowing what to do if you make a mistake like I just did. So we're going to go back to her profile and go to the edit. And we're going to take out what we put in. I'm not going to add this in down here because we're just going to have to take it out again when we find a real source. So we're going to save this. I gotta give it a quick one of these boxes to say save, so I'm going to say changes from a new source and save it. So now we're back to square one. So let's go back to our search results. And we can be sure that her marriage to Cyrus Morehouse, we got the right one now, Cornelia A. Canfield. And since I've got an A there, I'm going to go back to hers and put her middle initial. And go down and say added middle initial. These shortcuts up here will appear as you type more and more things in. It remembers them and does an autocomplete, and you can choose from the list. So we're going to save this. And we've got our middle initial, so let's go back now to our search results. As I find more information, I want to update her profile, because every time we do a search, the more things that we have in there in her profile, the better search results we get. Alright, so now let's look at her marriage. And this shows a marriage record here. And to cite the record, we click on copy citation, and it's copied to the clipboard. So we go back to Cornelia, and we go to edit. There's one thing I want to do before I edit. So let me go back and check the date that it gives. It looks like the marriage date is November 20th, 1832. Oh, and down here it says November 20th, 1832. Good. So we'll go back to Cornelia, and where it says spouses, we're going to edit the marriage. I wasn't too far off, a couple years. So 20 November 1832, and I think it said in New Milford. Let's check. Yeah, New Milford, Connecticut. New Milford, Richfield, Connecticut. So we go back to where we're editing, and '20 November 1832. I didn't click save, so it didn't save it. I had to type it again. And location is New Milford. And here it is in the list. And it's important, the drop-down list is the acceptable spelling that WikiTree wants. So instead of leaving New Milford or typing in New Milford, Connecticut and leaving it, always look for what's acceptable down here and click it, and it fills it in for you. And that won't get flagged as being spelled wrong or anything like that. It's going to be the acceptable location. And that goes for any location where you have the drop-down list. Always pick from the drop-down list. So the date is certain and the location is certain, and we're going to save the marriage. Alright, so we got the marriage saved. But it still says 1830 here, so we got to go to the edit page. And the nice part about this is once you got your extensions, you can just highlight it and say spouse and child details, and it fills everything in for you. So actually I should have deleted it. So now we got to delete the duplicate. This is the one I want to delete. Alright, so now we've got the right date in her marriage and the right place where she was married, and we've got the citation up here. We're going to copy it again just to make sure that we've got it. So we'll copy the citation, go back to Cornelia, and we're going to put our cursor in back of the marriage and click the C so you can cite your source, and it should be on the clipboard or in memory, so we right click on the blue and we click on paste, and your citation starts with the ref and ends with the closing ref. So that looks right. So we'll go down here and say that we added sources and we improved the bio and do a full save. So now we have a source that's the right source, and we don't have the one in Ohio. We got the one that's in Connecticut. And we can click on Family Search and under Sources. And anyone can see that you have the right source for Cornelia. By clicking on that link, they can go here and say, okay, Doug did it right. He got the right Cornelia this time. And it appears that she's married to Cyrus, so everything looks okay. So at this point, I'm going to stop. I'll make another video to show how much easier it is using the extension. And we'll do it with probably the census instead. Alright, so that's the long way. That's the way I started. I'm glad I don't have to go through all that anymore. The extension, just boom, boom, boom. I can add sources in 30 seconds if I'm real good. Alright, I'm going to sign off. I hope this helped and will encourage you to get the extensions, because it took me forever learning how to do this, and I've since forgotten how to do it practically.